What if I told you there was a way to unlock the central message of a 1400-year-old text with just one single simple clue? Well, today we're going to put on our detective hats and dig into the Quran. But we're not looking at it through theology, we're looking at it through data to find the one big idea that holds the whole thing together.
I mean, think about it for a second. When you're staring at a book with hundreds of pages, thousands of verses, how in the world do you find that one single core idea? It's a huge challenge, whether you're tackling a classic novel or, a sacred text like the Quran.
Well, here's the clue, and it's surprisingly simple. You just count the words. That's it. It's kind of like looking at this giant tangled mess of information and then using a magnifying glass to find the most obvious dominant patterns. By just tallying up which words pop up the most, we can cut right through the noise and see what the text is really, truly about.
Okay, so let's actually do this. Let's apply this method to the Quran. Just take a second and guess. Out of nearly 80,000 words, which single word do you think gets repeated more than any other?
If you guessed Allah, you are absolutely right. The most frequently mentioned word in the entire Quran is the Arabic name for God. And there it is, our first major clue.
And listen, it's not just the most common word. It's overwhelmingly the most common. It shows up over 2,000 times. To give you some perspective, that's an average of more than 17 times in every single chapter. So this isn't just a casual mention, right? It's like a constant, powerful drumbeat at the very heart of the text.
But here's the thing. The most frequent word is really only half the story. The real insight, the really interesting part, comes when we look at what comes in second place. This next clue, it adds a whole new layer to our investigation.
So what's your next guess? If Allah is number one, what other term could possibly be so important that it's the second most critical concept in the entire Quran?
And the answer is Rab. Now, it's often translated simply as Lord, but its meaning is so much richer than that. It really implies a sustainer, a cherisher, the one who nurtures and guides things to reach their full potential. So it's less about raw power and much more about a creative, guiding relationship.
And this idea of a nurturing Lord, it's not a minor theme. It appears over 950 times. So what this tells us is that the Quran is just as focused on the relationship with God as it is on the identity of God. The two ideas are totally inseparable.
Okay, so let's put our two main clues together on the table. On one hand, we have Allah, the proper name for God. And right next to it, we have Rab, a term that's all about a relationship of sustenance and guidance. See, this isn't just a list of frequent words. This is basically the blueprint of the Quran's central message.
And when you visualize it like this on a chart, wow, you can really see the sheer scale of that focus. The two concepts of Allah and Rab just tower over everything else. The data makes it totally undeniable. This text is overwhelmingly focused not just on God's existence, but on humanity's relationship to God as a sustainer and a guide.
So here's the crucial point, the main takeaway. This word count isn't just a fun fact, it's a key. It tells us that the central, unwavering theme of the Quran is this singular focus on one divine being, who is understood as both God, Allah, and the Lord who sustains and guides, Rab.
So a simple word count reveals this incredibly deep, unwavering dual focus in the Quran, God's identity and God's role as a nurturing Lord. It's a pretty powerful reminder that sometimes the biggest truths are hiding in the simplest patterns.